Cheers, everybody. Welcome to another poll result video. This one I put out last week is about supermarkets. I put up saying, which supermarket do you consider has the best variety and turnover of beer? It's a hard question, isn't it? Um, I think the answer would have been a lot easier going back 5 years ago, maybe, or to the beginning of when craft beer was descending onto the supermarkets. Um, Now it's a little bit more, now it's a little bit more clouded as to think of what supermarket provides the best variety and turnover of beers. And I mean, variety as in styles and turnover of new products, within the beer aisle. So I put up the big four supermarkets really for this, and I've got some comments. I shall read to you one of the comments I thought is really really interesting. So I'll read to you the comments I got. There's only a few comments. Uh, so the options I gave was Tesco, Sainsbury's, Morrison's, and Asda. Okay. As far as price is concerned, I think they're all relatively similar. So you can't really judge a supermarket on the price of the beer. So the first comment is from Baz at All the Beer No Idea. It says, I do think all the supermarkets are going a bit stale in beer aisles these days, though. Good point. For me, I think the same. I think the breweries are using their savvy up here and they're looking at costs. They're looking at what a beer costs to brew and what they're flogging it to the supermarket, at. And I think it's an equation which I think is reflective in the quality of the beer you get in a supermarket. I think if it was a bottle shop, I expect the beer to be better in a bottle shop than in a supermarket. Chris's beer reviews. Now, this is an interesting one. I barely buy craft beer from supermarkets these days. I try and use independent off licenses and Trembling Madness. So do I. I'm with you on that, Chris. I don't think I can even vote on this poll. That's the interesting point. I feel they are all the same now and allow loads of space to shit Brewdog beers. Yeah, I mean, Sainsbury's, I've noticed, have dedicated. Well, last time I was in Sainsbury's, they dedicated a whole section to Brewdog. Totally get where you're coming from with that, Chris, because from Chris's point of view, he thinks that the quality of beers in supermarkets are very samey, very similar, and I totally agree with him to a degree. I do because, again, we're talking economics. We're talking about the costs of brewing a beer and what you have to use in a beer to, to save money, I suppose. I don't know what these contracts are regarding supermarkets and Tesco's and, or Morrison's or whatever and the breweries, but I imagine they'll be, quite fine as in terms of making money, especially for the brewery perspective. Lee 73. Cheers, mate. He goes used to be Tesco by a long way, but the turnover of variety dropped significantly. I chose Morrison's, but I tend to have more. Morrison's for me. Morrison's are the most exciting one out of the big four for me. I think Morrison's. You never know what you're going to get in Morrison's. They tend to, not really shout from the rooftops about it either when they bring out a beer. So, yeah, I know where you're coming from with that, Lee. Raymond Lover. If I want a box of lager for a weekend, I go to Asda. 15 Budweiser is 15 quid. And often on offer for 13. If I want some good bottles of beer and a mix, also stick to Asda and get the 4 for 3 offer. One thing which is great in Asda at the moment is, of course, the genre-defining Stone IPA, a £4 a pop. Yes, but my word, what a beer! Got to get that in. Our Tesco's okay, but not great. The only supermarket I like for beer is Aldi and Lidl. Yeah, I mean, I haven't included Aldi and Lidl in this. I may do another poll regarding them two stores because I think it's wanted. Maybe do a poll between them two stores. For me, Lidl have done some fantastic stuff, especially the German Oktoberfest box set. Chad's beer review says flea market. Fair enough. And we've got Big Phil Acton. Big Phil Acton. That's great. I'll probably stick my neck out and say support small indie bottles, in turn support small indie breweries if you can. Like, yes, I'm with you on that. That's where I come from. I love to support bottle shops. Yes, I may pay a premium for the beer, but I just love the customer service you get in them. The chat, the talking, the chatting away. It's not just about buying a beer. It's, you tend to develop a relationship between people in bottle shops more than what you would in a supermarket. You walk into a supermarket, you feel like a number in a lot of cases, in everything, regarding food, regarding drink. You're just a number, and they make you feel that way because of, I think, market research through loyalty cards. You get these loyalty cards, reward cards in supermarkets. You're doing them a favour more than you're doing yourself because they will look at patterns of people spending. It's information they love. It's information they love. They can see who's buying what, who's spending what. We've got all the information we need. Thank you very much. There's a couple of free bog rolls. There you go. So, the results to this poll. Am I surprised by the results? No. To be honest, they're relatively evenly split. In last place is Asda at 11%. I think that could be down to actually the size of the stores in some places. I think, especially the Asda near me, it's not that great for beer variety. It's just putting anything on the shelf. Morrison's is in joint second place with Sainsbury's. Out of the two supermarkets, I prefer Morrison's. Sainsbury's, a little bit middle class, dare I say. For me, I think Morrison's have done more exciting beers than Sainsbury's over the years. So for me, Morrison's will win over that one. And the winner at 37% is Tesco. And, if you look at some of the previous beer releases over the years from Tesco, Hazy Jane, the Brewdog Evil Twin, Roaster Coaster, there has been significant big beer releases in the past, but these days you're not really getting them. You're not really getting them big game-changing beer releases no more. So which does put in doubt, for me, the future of craft beer in supermarkets. I think there'll be a point where people will just get fed up with it, the gimmick of it and the quality of it, the inconsistency of quality with it. And to be honest, can I see craft beer disappearing from supermarket shelves? It could happen. It could happen. It could happen. It's like a gimmicky thing. It only get to a point where, brand loyalty will exist in craft beer. I'm sure it will. Northern Monk, Brewdog, Full City. They'll always create brand loyalty to a degree, but I think there'll be a point where people will just start looking at craft beer in supermarkets and think, you know, I think it's gone as far as it can. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it goes. But my personal opinion is that one day I think it will diminish unless there's a game changer. And for me, I can't see any game changer on horizon. Anyway, thank you so much for voting for this poll. I will put up another poll for next week. And I love doing these beer related polls. It's great. It makes me, um, it makes me appreciate the people who watch me and everything. And it just really is nice to interact with what people think. So cheers again for voting and see you all again on another one. Be